Hi everybody, welcome back to Paranormal North. Today I'm going to be telling you basically about my past experience with the entity that's been following me, as some of you kind of might have had questions after my last videos with Necronomicon, which I'm still planning on finishing, going out today, doing a little video there, so that'll be up sometime soon. Okay, so basically it starts when I was a child. I used to live on Berry Street in Minnow Lake. And basically it was kind of a quiet little street. Nothing in particular too interesting of it that I knew about at that time. And I still can't confirm this yet. I'm going to be doing an investigation there this summer, but we'll get to that part. I started having these really vivid nightmares. And basically, these nightmares lasted from I don't even remember when they started that young. And they continued until I was probably 16, 17, something like that. In these dreams, I would basically be at my camp, which is a 2-story camp. And I would be at the bottom of the stairs near the entrance of the camp. And I would look up the stairs, and there would be this shadow figure that would slowly walk down the stairs towards me, and it would just terrify me. So usually by the time it was about halfway down, I would wake up. Sometimes before halfway, sometimes I'd see it and I'd wake up. I'd be terrified. I've never had dreams this vivid to this day, other than the one that happened when I moved here after stuff happened, but we will get to that part. It's part of this story. Basically, we moved from that house when I was, I'd say 7 or 8. I still continued the dreams until I was about 16, 17, and that's when I think I kind of cut myself off from stuff. I was a really big skeptic back then, by the way. So basically, I basically said, none of this is real, none of it can affect me. And while the none of this is real part wasn't technically true, the this can't affect me part was, because we have that power to be able to kind of block things out if we feel that enough. And I had convinced myself that it did not exist. And I basically forgot about it for a really long time. But in the time before that, there had been little odd things that would happen around my house. My one friend would be terrified to come in my basement because the TV would just flicker on and off 7 or 8 times in a row sometimes. It was just, I was used to it by that point, and it didn't really bug me anymore, but he was like, okay, yeah, I'm going home. This brings us to the next part of the story. About last year, I was reading something on a paranormal page for the area, and I saw somebody who had a very familiar story. And it basically, they talked about a shadow figure and how it had been around their house and stuff like that. So I was just very curious. And I was like, this shadow figure just the way they described the way it acted, I don't know, it just triggered something in me. I don't know why, because, shadow figure, that's not really a great description, but for some reason, I reached out to her, and I talked to her, and I was like, so, just curious, because I kind of had a similar thing. I grew up on Berry Street. Where do you live? Well, I didn't ask where do you live, but I was just like, this is what happened to me. They messaged me back and were like, I live on Berry Street. Turns out they lived in a couple houses down from where I used to live. So, after this, I basically kind of felt bad. So basically, I took it upon myself to kind of try to, I don't know, get rid of this demon, or I really don't know what my focus was at that time. I hadn't known a lot at that point, and it was kind of a dumb idea. But anyways, I didn't protect myself quite the way I thought I had. And stuff started to happen around here. So, a couple of my roommate who keeps reptiles and rats, within 3 days, and they, since or before, have not really had any issues with keeping animals or animals dying or anything like that, or sick animals, anything like that. Within 2 days, or 2 or 3 days, I don't remember exactly, but 2 rats and her one, what was it? His name was Bowser. I don't remember what his species was, but he was a lizard. Bearded dragon. He was a bearded dragon. Anyways, after that, I half made the connection that it might have been something related to that. So I was making plans to kind of talk to a friend about it, because they had a lot more experience with things like this than I had. A couple nights later, before anything else had happened, I had the same exact dream. I woke up from this dream and I pinched myself. And I was like, okay, I'm awake, thank God. So I'm like, I have to just, I'm terrified right now. I haven't been this terrified in years, and I do have anxiety myself. So it's not like it's a huge thing for me to be terrified, but like this was like, it was not fun. Even right now I'm just kind of shaking thinking about how much fear I was in. So I go to my roommate's room and go to knock on the door. And I see something out of the corner of my eye as my roommate's door is right next to the stairs to go outside. And there's a shadow at the top of the stairs. So I freak out and try to start backing up, but I'm frozen solid. And it's slowly walking down and slowly walking down. And I'm just terrified. And it came right up to me, face to face. So I like saw its shadowy face. It was like it was gray everywhere, but a really, really dark gray. And it was almost smoky, but not smoky that you couldn't see through it, but you could tell that it was like, it had features because its eyes were darker and its mouth, where it would open its mouth, was black. After he gets face to face with me, I just hear him say, "I'm here." And I woke up. I thought I was terrified before that, so I immediately woke my roommate up because I'm kind of a wuss and was like, okay, we're doing something today. Because I had been researching it myself because my friend hadn't been getting back to me. But anyways, it's taken care of now, but it was quite the experience. And some of you might believe me, some of you might not. I don't really care. It was the most terrified I have ever been. And it just kind of, in case there's a male voice in some of those videos, that might be it. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. I don't even know yet if Necronomicon... Is that what I said earlier too? If it is, then go ahead and make fun of me. But Necrophonic... yeah, I'm not even 100% sure on that app yet, but we will see. I used to be a skeptic. I do 100% believe, but I do believe there are a lot of people who do just make up stuff. I hope you enjoyed my story. If you did, Feel free to subscribe to my channel. I will be doing more investigations around the Sudbury area. If you have suggestions for places, let me know. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Be safe out there, people.